Guys, this story is actually inspired by true events. Back in 1872, the Mary Celeste was found drifting alone in the Atlantic, completely empty. What happened to the people on board? No one knows. And that's where our story begins. The Curse of the Mary Celeste. The Atlantic stretched out forever, like a giant, endless blue mirror, reflecting the sky's cold, harsh glare. It was the morning of November 7th, 1872, and the Mary Celeste was getting ready to leave New York Harbor. Captain Benjamin Briggs stood tall on deck, looking every bit the confident, fearless sailor. Next to him, his wife Sarah looked pale, her voice trembling as she said, "Benjamin, I've got a bad feeling about this. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this trip." Benjamin just flashed a reassuring grin. "Sarah, the sea fears those who don't fear it. We're in God's hands." But little Sophia, clutching her rag doll tight, lifted her head and said softly, almost whispering, "Mom, that boy over there, he's watching me." Sarah glanced where Sophia pointed, but there was nothing. Just crates and cargo. Her heart skipped a beat. She pulled her daughter close and held her tight, silence hanging heavy over them. The first nights, the first days of the voyage were calm. The wind pushed the sails gently, the crew busy with their chores. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling something was off. Every night, after everyone else fell asleep, she'd hear footsteps on deck. Soft, eerie footsteps, like bare feet moving over the wood. She tried waking Benjamin. Every night, same response. "It's just your mind playing tricks, Sarah. Travel fatigue." But little Sophia, she wasn't scared. She'd sit on the edge of her bed, staring into empty space, giggling. "Who are you laughing at, sweetie?" Sarah asked one night. Sophia smiled and said plainly, "Aaron. He says he wants to play with me." Then came the seventh night. The sea turned violent. The wind howled like a beast. Waves thrashed the ship. But it wasn't just a storm. The Mary Celeste started drifting off course, like an invisible hand was pushing it. A sailor screamed, "Captain, we're in some weird waters. The compass is all messed up." Suddenly, lightning split the sky. For a brief, terrifying second, the ocean lit up, and Sarah saw something no sane mind could process. Pale faces floating above the waves, hundreds of them, hollow eyes, mouths open screaming. But no sound came out. She grabbed Benjamin's hand, trembling, and yelled, "Benjamin, this isn't normal water. This is cursed. Sophia and the ghost boy." The nights that followed were pure nightmare. The crew kept seeing shadows flicker in the corridors, doors creaking, though they were tightly shut. And no one could explain it. But Sophia, she was different. She heard them. Whispers, faint but clear, calling her name. The boy, Aaron, visited her every night. She couldn't see him clearly, just a faint, ghostly outline of a child. But his voice was impossible to ignore. "Sophia, your daddy has entered our waters. This is our land. The spirits are angry. They want revenge on the grown-ups. But I don't want you to get hurt." Sophia shivered, but listened, fascinated and terrified. Sarah would hear her daughter talking to empty air in the dark cabin, her fear growing by the second. The final night, by November 25th, pure terror ruled the ship. One sailor suddenly screamed, collapsing to the deck, eyes wide as if he'd seen something that shouldn't exist. Then came a pounding on the hull, louder, relentless, mixing with the terrified screams of men and women, and a low, unnatural humming rising from the depths of the sea. The captain tried to keep control. Doors slammed open violently, and the wind carried voices no human could understand. Sophia clutched her doll, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Mom, Aaron says we have to leave the ship now," Sarah, now certain that nothing was normal anymore, pleaded with her husband. "Benjamin, take the lifeboat. This ship is cursed." Benjamin hesitated, but then came a violent crash from the deep, and seeing his crew running in panic, he knew there was no choice. They all scrambled into the lifeboat, hearts pounding, leaving the Mary Celeste behind. The mysterious ending. They all climbed into the lifeboat, but the sea didn't show mercy. Waves towered over them, tossing them like toys. Behind them, the Mary Celeste rocked alone in the vast ocean, empty, silent, haunted by ghosts. The last thing anyone heard from little Sophia over the roar of the storm was her whisper to her mother, "Mom, Aaron says we're going with him now, to the House of the Sea." Days later, the ship was found, perfectly intact, supplies untouched, sails still up, but the 10 passengers, gone, vanished, as if they'd never existed. The cursed sailors who pass through those waters to this day tell tales of a girl's laughter on calm nights, a small, lost laugh, echoing across the waves, searching for her friend, Aaron. And with it, the curse of the Mary Celeste lives on forever.